Welcome to this lesson on understanding file extensions. In this tutorial, we will help you get familiar with file extensions and why they are so important for working with digital files. By the end of this video, you'll be able to recognize and manage file extensions with ease. If I go to my file explorer, here you will see different folders that have been created by default. You can see all the different folders here. So all these folders are actually created for a reason. For example, we have the video folder. So if you are trying to save any file that contains, which is a video, you have to save it here. And the same thing goes with music. So if you're trying to save a music file, you have to save it in music and also pictures. And here we have our document where you can save all your different documents and download. Of course, when you download the software from the internet, automatically it goes to the download folder. So it is easy to actually search for a specific folder if they are saved at the right location. So the file extensions are actually a set of characters that follow the dot at the end of a file name. So if I go, for example, let me go to document and I go to this Kelvin folder. Here you can see we have some files here. For example, this is actually a Word document, this is a PDF document, and also this is actually a text document. So if I expand the type, you can see this is going to give us info about what the document type is. And if I right click, for example, file, and I click properties, so the properties is going to tell me the type of file is a .txt file, and that is a text document file. And if I, for example, right click on PDF and I click properties, here you can see this is going to tell me it's a PDF document, and you can see it ends with .pdf. But at this moment, we are not seeing the extension of the file name. So what you need to do is go to view. In view, go to show, and here you can see the file name extension. When we click on it, and then automatically you can see all the files will now have their file name extension. If I go to pictures, for example, you can see we have the pic.jpg, and we have this other file which is .png. Music, you can see we have a .mp3. So if I right click and then click properties, you can see it's going to actually tell us that this is a .mp3 and file, and you can actually open it with media player. And let me show you one good example. For example, if I go to my document and I go to this file, here if I right click, you can see we have the option to open this document with Word. But if I don't have Office installed, it's going to ask me to open it with other program, for example, Word, or I can choose another app if we have different app to open it with. For example, I can say, well, I want to try to open it with Notepad. I can say always or just once. So if I choose just once, it will actually try to open in Notepad, and then sometimes it's going to give you a plain text of that document, or sometimes it's just going to show kind of the different character. Here it goes. So it's going to show you some different characters, just like Chinese characters, because this document was not created with a Word, with a text document. So let me just close that. So that is how you actually see the extension of each document. And also, for example, you can actually change this file document. Let me just open this document. You can see we have is a file document which says hello, how are you doing? But we can decide to say, well, I want to change this to become a Word document by doing the following: DOCX, and then hit enter. It's going to ask me if I want to change the extension. I will say yes, and automatically you can see it is now a Word document. So we can double click, and here it says with Word found unreadable content. I can just say yes on that. Well, it was not able to still give me some issues. Let's see if the document will be opened. Here we go, you can see that the document was not open. So I'm going to click close for that. Well, you can see that we have the opportunity to actually change this document. For example, we have the PDF. We can decide to actually change it to a different document as well, but you should be careful because by changing a document incorrectly may lead to a situation whereby you can't open that document anymore. And lastly, to keep your computer safe and organized, I will always advise you to always keep file extension visible, just like I did before, by going to View, Show, and here File Name Extension. Just check that, and it's going to actually make it visible. So by doing this, you will know exactly what document you are working from. And also, I will advise you to avoid opening files with unfamiliar or suspicious extension. So when you see an extension you don't know, please do not open that document. It may contain some malicious malware of spam. And also download files only from trusted source and use antivirus software to always scan your files before opening them. So when you download the file, always try to scan that file before you open them, so you don't go and open a virus on your own device.